The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the October 14th, the terrific Tuesday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day, and let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. Now, the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstances of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But even more important than that, and that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to send me an email. Send it to steve@tfnn.com. Inside that subject heading, please put radio show question. Of course, if you're inside our Tiger's Den, well, then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on Terrific Tuesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. So we've got a bit of a mixed bag out there. You've got the Dow down 10 points, 8 points now. S&P's up 24. NASDAQ 100, 182. The Russell's up 3 points. The transports are up 119. Semis are up 103. NASDAQ composite off 191. New York Stock Exchange down 15 points. You've got gold that's up 17 bucks. Silver's down 18 pennies. Light sweet crude off $1.12. Natural gas is off 5 cents. Copper's down 14 pennies right now. Let's begin. Where do we begin? Let's begin with the daily equity future contracts. Let's start there. So let's pull those four horsemen up on our screen out here. And what do we see? So first, with regard to the Russell 2000, strong like bull, its break of its profile support on Friday is truly a false breakdown signal, 24.4750. Kind of hard to assume that our markets are going to crash or move lower with the Russell moving higher. Now, the Russell's just consolidating with inside its daily profile. Yes, it does have a Rhodes momentum indicator top for its daily time frame. Its profile or consolidation area is right now between 24.47 and 24.89. If we take a look at the Dow equity future contract, on one screen I showed you a new profile that was attempting to form. Here's another screen that's got the old profile, so I'm not sure if that new profile is going to form at all. But it closed today above 46.343, at least this moment in time, gets priced back inside that profile, could then take us up towards 46.670. If we take a look at the NQ is trading below profile support, but what it did do today is it tested and it rejected its breakout level. That's at 24.633. It's also indicating that its breakdown message was a false breakdown signal. Nonetheless, we need to see another close above 24.899. I said another because yesterday price did close back above that level, and that should lead us to higher price. The higher price would lead us to a sell zone, which is between the price range of 25.146 and 25.270. If we take a look at the ES Mini, the ES Mini closed back above the top of its daily profile yesterday, signaling that it was a false breakdown signal. Now we're below that level as we speak right now, 66.83. Watch that area. If price at the end of the day closes back above that level, it truly increased the odds of a rally, which would take us up towards 67.57. Now, the odds of an increased rally are pretty significant. Why is that? If you recall, on Friday, the one-day rate of change of the spot VIX index, but I don't have the one-day rate of change on the charts I'm about to put up on my screen out here. But you know the calculations. You can do them yourself out there. We had a one-day rate of change in the spot VIX index of 32%. Once you get a close above 10%, typically leads to a bounce or bottom. We're trying to understand, was Friday the bottom, or did we just get a bounce out there? Well, what transpired yesterday was a spot VIX index closed below minus 10%. I think it was maybe a 13% one-day rate, negative 13% one-day rate of change. That is an initiation signal to higher price out there. So that's why I say odds favor that we do see a rally out there, but we'll take a look at those intraday charts, understand where resistance is at. That's just the typical signal. Now, the New York Stock Exchange, its advanced client oscillator, remains below the zero level. It has worked off that oversold condition that was in place at the end of Friday, but it still shows us that sellers are the ones with an edge. And that's the same case with regard to the spot VIX index. However, what you and I know is that that one-day rate of change below minus 10% typically leads to initiation to higher price. So just simply keep that in mind. Let's move from this set of charts and let's go see what's going on an intraday basis. In fact, on an intraday basis, we're going to start with just looking at the 30-minute time frame chart for all four equity future contract, and then we can go take a look at the multi-time factor out here. The reason we want to start with this is because when we take a look at three of the four horsemen out here, they have Rhodes momentum indicator bottoms. So what we saw take place this morning, at 10 o'clock, price moved lower, triggered that Rhodes momentum indicator signal. That's that black diagonal line. That's a pattern that I teach folks out there. Just become a subscriber. I've got a couple different workshops that will teach you how that pattern works out there. And now what we can see, and it was confirmed as it needed to be with a bullish reversal candle. It was a bullish hammer. Now what that does, that makes this morning's low a pretty key low out there. If we start trading below that, it doesn't spell curtains. It just spells lower price. Right now, the ES Mini, if you're trading the ES Mini, you should be aware that we had a nice Rhodes momentum indicator bottom pattern. That price closed above the top of its bearish structured 30-minute profile. We've been above it now for 3 bars. That increases the odds of a further rally. Where would that rally take us to? Well, its TD9 count breakdown resistance is up at 67.1275. That would be a target until we go take a look at the other intraday time period charts out there. In the case of the NQ, same bottom pattern, a nice bullish hammer to confirm a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom, but in its case right now, price is taking on its sell zone. And on a 30-minute basis, that sell zone is between 24,700 and 24,746 out there. Two close above 24,746, ought to signal move up to 25,020. We take a look at the Dow equity future contract, also forming a bullish hammer candle to confirm a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom. It is traded above the top of its daily profile. This is bar number 3 above that. Odds favor that what price is going to do is make a run for 46,424. That's its TD9 count breakdown resistance area. In the case of the Russell 2000, it is actually stronger when I take a look at this daily chart than the other 3. It did not generate that same bottom pattern out there. So it's taking its P's and Q's, so to speak, from the other 3. So that's what's going on a 30-minute basis for the equity future contracts. I'm simply going to close those out, free up a little bit of resource space out here, and then I'll take us up to the multi-time frame charts. I believe it is the NQ that is loaded out here. We'll find out momentarily. And this way we can take a look at other areas of potential resistance, key level of resistance. Now, if you were inside the Tiger's Den last night, I did post the charts for the 5-hour time frame chart. Those are listed as the 300-minute charts out there. And what I shared with folks is watch that oscillator unchanged line. If price closed above it, that would signal that we would see a further rally. That oscillator unchanged line had changed colors from green to red. And what we saw last night was we saw price get up into the 11 o'clock time frame, get up there, and at the end of that session, close back below its red oscillator and change line. That is the key level to be watching today as well on any rally. And that number right now is printed out at 24,837. We come back to this break, we'll finish looking at the NQ charts, we'll put up the ES as well, maybe even the Dow equity future contract. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the Opening Call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening Call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back up, folks. Stevie's going to call an audible here as I was taking a look at the charts. And the reason is because the 5-hour time frame chart, it's really the ES and the NQ that you're going to pay attention to. You can see on the bottom left, the Dow is already trading above that red oscillator and change line, and we had closed above before. The same thing is true with regard to the Russell 2000. So the key levels of resistance today that you're going to want to watch, and the ES Mini is approaching it as we speak, is 66.77-ish. I have to say ish because that's a calculation that's going to move up and down as price moves up and down. But if we do close above that red oscillator and change line for a 5-hour time frame, the next bar here is only 2 5-hour time frame bars. Well, no, I take that back to ES Mini. It's like 6. Well, not 6, but close to 5. If we take a look at the ES Mini here, 60 high of the day so far is at 66.74, 66.78-ish or more is that red oscillator and change line. In the case of the NQ right now, that is printed out at the 24,834 level. So those are the areas to be watching to give you a decent view as to what the intent of the NQ and the ES Mini are. Now let's go back and take a look at the Dow Equity Future Contract. I went ahead and put that set of charts, multi-time frame set of charts up here so we can look at it. And one of the things that I just noticed briefly was the TD9 count bottom pattern that formed for a 60-minute time frame. So what the Dow Equity Future Contract has done for each of us, we've got that bottom pattern that took place at 10 o'clock, that low out there, which is 45,663. If we close below that, we're headed lower. You can see the bottom panel. You got a 30-minute Rhodes momentum indicator bottom, the same for the 15, the same for the 10. Out there, you formed a nice bullish hammer candle on the 120-minute time frame chart. That has been a test and rejection of the swing point low from back on Friday. From that high out there, that high was at the 45,780. We're trading above the red oscillator and change on the 240-minute time frame chart. That is a bullish signal out there. We're trading above that red oscillator and change line on the 5-hour time frame as well. Here you can see that new profile that is attempting to form. Again, I don't know if it will form, won't know till 6 o'clock tonight, but a level of resistance for the Dow Equity Future Contract, if we take the information that we've got, is going to be 46,549. That's the key level out there. If price is able to close above that, it ought to make a move up towards 46,742. As far as resistance out here, what I'd be watching for is what? I'd have to say it's going to be the sell zone for the 2-hour time frame. That sell zone is between 46,289 and 46,378. So if price is able to get through that, that would certainly be a bullish signal. So that's in essence what's going on with regard to the equity future contracts out there. Hope that information helps you out. If not, go ahead and send me an email or send me a public or private ping inside of the Tiger's Den, and we'll be happy to go ahead and take a look at. I just want to get back, I guess, before I move on to the request out there, and I said this yesterday, I'm going to say it again. I'll probably say it again tomorrow. This is the key set of charts out here. This is the one, whether you're long or short, that you want to be paying attention to. It being the weekly time frame chart for the equity future contracts. If there's going to be a change in trend, we must see a close below profile support. And on the ES Mini, that number is 65.75. Not a daily close, a weekly close. On the NQ, that number is 24.108. On the Dow, it's 45,694, and on the Russell 2000 down at the 2372 level out there. Make sure you grab a snapshot of this and you understand those numbers out there, no matter how it is you're trading, no matter what direction you're trading, and preferably if you're trading in both directions out there. Now let's go ahead and begin to take a look at some of our requests. The first one's coming in from Tom G, and Tom G wants to understand where is it that the charts are suggesting RGTI is headed to. Well, what you're going to get today, Tom, is a TD9 count topping pattern. This pattern will complete tomorrow. What that suggests is that whether it begins today or begins tomorrow, is that price should pull back to its oscillator and change line. That is printed at $46 right now. That'll be a little bit lower as price pulls back. Now, on the daily time frame, that's the left-hand chart that we're looking at. Look at that green oscillator and change line ever since September the 9th out there when price closed above it. That has acted as support. So if you're looking to get into this, that's the level that would be ideal, is that oscillator and change line. I teach people how to create that, how that is developed so that you can monitor that level on your charts as well. Just go sign up for Mastering Probability and take that course out there. But that's where price is likely headed to. Now, if price closes below that, Tom, then that would suggest we might have lower price. And that lower price could take us back to 34.40. I am not saying that is where price is headed to. What I am saying is that price is likely to head to its oscillator and change line as soon as this TD9 count pattern completes, but it's going to go ahead and form today. Now, I think it's just going to be a short-term pullback. That short-term pullback, I would say, would likely be just 2 bars, but it could be 2 to 4 bars, and then it takes off to the upside, or should take off to the upside. Why? The weekly time frame has got no topping signal whatsoever, nor does the monthly chart. So this is just a bit of a timeout, I believe, to recharge its batteries, and the best buy would be right around that $46 area. So I hope that helps you out with regard to RGTI and everybody else who trades this inside the Tiger's Den. Tom also wanted to take a look at NVIDIA. Who doesn't want to take a look at NVIDIA? So let's pull those set of charts up on our screen. What do we have going on with NVDA? Nothing more than just a consolidation with inside its daily profile, at least at this moment in time. Now, price is trading below the center of its bear structured profile, 187, and we are trading below the low of Friday out there. And as long as price remains below that low is 182.05, then I'd say we're likely to head to 174.92. Now, the volume on that Friday bar was 268 million shares. So far today, we're down with 81 million shares. That's pretty good volume for a 2 hours of trading. That in essence equates to about 80, 240. 250, versus 268 million shares. So watch at a day's end. Do we test and reject that? What we call a junior swing of some sort out there. But anyways, you just got a consolidation, Tom, with inside that daily profile. By the way, if I didn't say where the sell zone is, it's between 187.47 and 189.26. Now, the weekly time frame chart confirmed a Rhodes momentum indicator top last week. Was that bear sash shooting star candle that formed. Price is right now trading below its green oscillator and change line and below the top of its daily profile, 184.48. If it closes above that on Friday, you got a neutral signal for the weekly time frame. As long as we remain below 184.48, well, then that could take us down to 174.58 next. That would be its next battle. What's interesting about 174.58 is it really ties into the bottom of the daily profile, 174.92. So I'd say right now, for NVIDIA, pressure is to the downside. The monthly time frame, everything looks good there. Bearish reversal candle at month's end would generate a Rhodes momentum indicator top. So that's what I see when we take a look at NVIDIA. Tom, hope that helps you out. Thanks as always for your request. Duncan Steve is getting in on the game, wants to take a look at ticker symbol CYN. CYN is trading out right now at $6 and a penny. And what it's doing, it is consolidating with inside its daily profile. Your resistance zone, you can see it. There's really two out here, Duncan. The first is going to be a TD9 count breakdown resistance level. That was tested, looks like sometime last week, up at the 678 area. This morning at 669 was the top of its daily profile. That too is acted as resistance. Well, what's it doing right now? It's testing support. Where's support? 570. What's the low of the day so far with regard to CYN? It's 569. You got to love that. Now, if price is able to close below 570, then we're going to see lower price. We get back to the TD9 count pattern low out here. That bar formed on August 20th. That bar had volume of 415,000 shares. It was tested and rejected yesterday with 245,000 shares. That was a signal that it was going to go up and test resistance, which it did. Hasn't been able to bust through that level out there. So just a good old-fashioned consolidation is what I see, Duncan. The weekly and monthly charts are not usable, and I don't know what went on there. Maybe it was a split or something. In any event, Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Trader's Edge is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. We're taking a look at ticker symbol EGAN out there. EGAN is going to complete a daily TD9 count top, Steve-O, today. Now, price is trading above its green oscillator and change line and the top of its profile. So even though it's got that topping pattern, overall it's neutral. What price should do, and it's almost done it today, is pull back to test its oscillator and change line, which at 12.35 out there. We got down so far to a low today of 12.53. But watch at 12.35 level, likely to be tagged. If we close below that, then it brings 933 into play out there. The weekly time frame chart is going to go ahead and confirm a bar number 8 of a TD9 count top today. That says its top can take place between this Friday and the next 2 Fridays out there. Monthly time frame chart looks beautiful. It's really the daily and the weekly that are going to control what EGN does out there. So TD9 count top, watch that. What it needs, if we start to see this close above its high, right now the high of the pattern is 1418. That tells you about a strong upward momentum move that will continue out there. You also want to look at GameStop out here, GME. Let's pull its charts up on our screen. GME right now is trading out at, come on, go ahead and populate. Why is taking so long? 2340 is what it's trading out. It's forming bar number 8 today on a daily basis at its TD9 count breakout level. That was at 2294. So it will form a TD9 count bottom pattern tomorrow as long as price closes below. It's got to close below 2407. Yes, you'd like to see a rally. This is for Nitram. Wanted to take a look at GME out here. So you've got likely a TD9 count bottom pattern forms tomorrow, but you still got to get that close below the close of bar number 5. And again, that number was 2407. The weekly time frame chart's got a price is trading with inside its profile. The same is true with regard to the monthly time frame. So it looks to me like it's a daily time frame, which formed a Rhodes momentum indicator top, and now it looks like it will form a TD9 count bottom. Should that rally up towards 24.99, that's its daily oscillator and change line. Let's go take a look at LAZR. This is also running at Nitram inside our Tiger's Den. LAZR right now printing out at $2.02. That's trading with inside its daily profile, Nitram. That's between 190 and 212. The weekly time frame, we have a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom with price trading below profile support. So on a rally, that would be meaning closing above 212 out there, the top of its daily profile. What you ought to see is 256. 256 is the TD9 count breakdown resistance level. That is held twice. So if it can close above that, then we ought to get up to 382. And 382 would be the bottom of that weekly profile. You may get a TD9 count bottom pattern on the monthly time frame. At the end of the month, price must close below $2.87. We're at 202 as we speak right now. So that's what I see with regard to LAZR. Nitram, hope that helps you out. As always, thanks for your assistance. We've got White Shark wants to get into the action, thankfully, and wants to take a look at BBAI. And the question is, where is it going? Well, it negated a TD9 count topping pattern yesterday. That says it wants to go higher. It does have a Rhodes momentum indicator signal that is present, but that needs a bearish reversal candle to confirm a bottom. Instead, what we actually have in BBI is an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. Now, I don't know if it was taken out with volume, the B point that is, but we're going to go take a look at it. I'm first going to go ahead and put the A to B pattern in there. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to paste it, and now I'm going to go ahead and assemble that puppy so we get a to B equals CD price projection, which would take us up towards 1014. Now, the volume on that swing point, which was a day of 923, had volume of 233 million shares. Passed yesterday with 211 million shares. So light in the loafers, but that does not mean that it will not go ahead and complete that pattern. In fact, it can do more than a one-to-one A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. So we're bullish on the daily time frame. Your question was, where's it going? We're saying 1014-ish. The weekly time frame chart, we're trading above last week's high. That's a bullish signal. We're trading into a swing point on a weekly basis from back in February 14th. That had volume of 670 million shares on a weekly basis. We're at 310 right now, and we're only at that Tuesday. So this is pushing into that swing point. It appears with volume. That says we go tackle the 1036 level. That is the high of that swing point. The monthly chart, we are trading above last month's high. That's a bullish signal. Its swing point takes you back to February 2025. 1.8 billion shares so far. We're at 1.3 billion shares. I say, the charts say, BBAI wants to head lower. 1014-ish is that price target. So hope that helps you out there. We got S&P wants to take a look at GLXY. Let's go put GLXY up on our screen out here. Give me a moment. I think this is it. And it is. GLXY trading at $39.63. It's going to complete its TD9 count topping pattern for its daily time frame today. Bar number 8 is the high of the pattern, and bar number 8 was also a Rhodes momentum indicator top. Now, the key level of support that is testing right now, S&P, is the center of its profile. The reason that that's key is because it is a bearish structured profile. What I mean is the center is closer to the top than it is to the bottom. So we have more sellers in the area of 39.16 to 42.26. And if those sellers can get a close below 39.16, it increases the odds of a move to profile support or its breakout level. And that would be between the range of 33.98 to 35.02. The weekly time frame does not have a topping pattern. It does have an A to B equals CD pattern, but it needs a bearish reversal candle to confirm a top. And the monthly chart, no topping pattern whatsoever, everything being driven by the daily time frame. So just be careful of that 39.16 level because we're consolidating with inside that daily profile and we're trading below its green oscillator and change line. It is not a neutral signal at all. You want to be able to watch. Now, if price can close above its green oscillator and change line, it gets a little bit more neutral. That level right now being $40.03. So that's what's going on. We take a look at GLXY. Let's go take a look at SALT, SOLT out there. Also something that S&P would like to take a look at, and that is trading out as we speak at $19.86. It's a consolidation with inside that weekly profile. Last week we got up to the top, couldn't bust through it at 29.49. This week it looks like we're headed down to the bottom. That's at 17.88. The daily time frame has a Rhodes momentum indicator top that was established with a island top reversal candle. Holy shnikes out here. So let's go ahead and open this up. Was that at an all-time high? It most certainly was. Wowzer. So someone might be saying, what is an island top candle? An island top is formed because you have a gap to the upside and a gap to the downside, nothing in between. So if you take a look at the trading session of September 17th, the very next day, price gaps up. What does it do? It forms that TD9 count top. So it has a TD9 count top. What does it do the next day? It gaps down. That creates that island that is stranded by itself. All those passengers on that boat, and they're between the price levels of $32.94 to $35.30, have definitely been stranded by this market. Now, this may turn into an A to B equals CD pattern to the downside. In order to do so, price must close below 1977. If we get that and do it with more than 8 million shares. Today so far, we've tested it with 5.8 million shares. We're trading still above that level, but if we close below 1977, that'll trigger an A to B equals CD pattern to the downside. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. So again, just to reiterate on SOLT, if we close the day below 1977, we're trading in 1992. That will trigger an A to B equals CD pattern on the downside. The initial price projection of the 1-to-1 would get us down towards the level of $14 even Steven out there. But before price get to $14, it would have to take out the bottom of its weekly profile, and that's at 1788. So that's the overview on SALT out there. We have a request from Eddie. Eddie wants to, Eddie's ready to go Christmas shopping. He's looking for that Santa Claus rally, and he's wondering, where are we at in that pattern? Well, if we take a look at the Dow out here, we take a look at 128 years worth of data. What do we know? We know that the Santa Claus rally typically begins at the end of October, right around October the 26th, 7th. Right out there. So it really would be the Halloween rally that we'd be taking a look at, starting right around Halloween out there, which I believe, no. So now what this also shows us right now is if you take a look at where are we at in the markets with regard to the seasonal cycle. And I'm not saying that we've been following along this seasonal cycle out there. But what I'm doing is answering Eddie's question out there. And here you can see that typically from the time frame of about the middle of September until, quite frankly, until about the beginning of November, we have a sideways-ish consolidation pattern out there. It's why I've been kind of harping on the weekly equity future contracts. Pay attention to those. I posted that chart a couple different times so that you could grab a copy of it. But the Santa Claus rally, over 128-year period, Eddie, starts right around the end of October out there. Now, we've got more, and that more says we don't have to use 128 years worth of data. We can use 25 years worth of data. Well, 25 years worth of data says the Santa Claus rally usually starts right around October the 9th out there. Well, you can see we're already beyond that. What do we have taking place on October the 9th? Where are we at? Let me just go back to the daily equity future contracts, see if I've got those still up on my screen. Daily equity future contracts. So today is what, the 14th out there? Friday, what was Friday's date? I just can't remember. Friday's date was the 10th, maybe? Yeah, the 10th. So that's an interesting thing here. If we take a look at the last 25 years, Eddie, what I would say is that the low from Friday is a real key low out there when you take a look at least this 25-year period. So this is saying that the Santa Claus rally, in essence, has already begun. That's if the market, the Dow, is going to follow along that time period. Now, we can take a look at the last 15 years out there. Last 15 years says it starts right around the beginning of October the 3rd out there. So that's the Santa Claus rally. Now, if I go back 128 years and we put up the post-election cycle, it's the year after the election, that's where we're in right now, this suggests that a Santa Claus rally would not begin until November the 13th. The problem is this pattern shows that we should have topped in August. We know we didn't do that. We made a higher high in October, I believe. So it's definitely not following along that pattern. But even still here, there is that Santa Claus rally pattern. Now, this is not the type of Santa Claus rally that they'll talk about on CNBC. That one, they're talking about the type where you miss out on all of the potential because they're just taking a look at the week before, the week after Christmas out there. So I hope that helps you out, Eddie, with regard to that question. Hector and Patty wrote in, and they're interested in taking a look at the IWM, specifically trying to get a feel for the longer-term picture. And in order to do that, that says they want to go take a look at the monthly time frame chart. And on the monthly time frame chart, what do we know? Well, Hector and Patty, we know one thing with certainty, and that is that 244.46 is a key level of resistance. That 240.46 was actually the high from back in November of 2021. That was the TD9 count breakdown resistance level. We tested it back here in November of 2024, tested and rejected. We tested it last month. We are testing it right now as we speak. That number 244.46, we're trading right now at 245.43. Now, if price is able to close above 244.46, and if it can do it with more than 711 million shares, that would generate and confirm an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. The volume last month, 847 million shares. So we were pushing, we tested and rejected that swing point. All that said with regard to this month is we should at least test 244.46. Well, we're doing that as we speak right now. Doesn't tell us whether or not we'll be able to bust through that level. If we don't bust through that level, Hector and Patty, that'll take us back towards the 228.60 level. It's green, oscillator, and change line. But if it does go ahead and confirm an A to B equals CD pattern, you may be looking at a longer one. I'd have to take the chart and go way back even further. But this smaller one, the one that would have started at the 2020 bottom, would generate an A to B equals CD pattern with an initial price projection of 311.05 or so out there. So you want to watch that 244.46. It's not a matter of where it's trading today. It's a matter of where it's trading on the end of the month. I don't know if that's the 31st or not. If we take a look at the weekly time frame chart for the IWM, as long as we've got it up on our screen here, what we've got is just simply a consolidation with inside of its weekly profile, a buy zone between 233.61 and 238.56. Resistance is where it's really headed to as we speak right now. That resistance, Hector and Patty, is up at the 246 even Steven level, the top of its profile. On a daily time frame, you have a Rhodes momentum indicator top with price trade above profile resistance at 240.33. But below its green oscillator and change line at 246.43. So it's somewhat of a small neutral signal out there. It would become real neutral with a close above 246.43. It's green oscillator and change line for the daily time frame. And if it does that, you're likely to go test that Rhodes momentum indicator top out there. So yes, you might get an A to B equals CD pattern for the IWM. We won't know until let me see, what day of the week is it? That is the end of the trading session for October. Turns out it is the 31st out there. So we got Halloween on the 31st of Friday, the end of the month out there. And whatever else I was saying. So that's what's going on with regard to the IWM. I was actually just checking to see if there are any other requests out here, and I don't see those at the moment. Let me just make a doubly check out here. I do not see any other requests inside of the system. Let me just check. Make sure that is the case with regard to the inside the Tiger's Den. Yeah, I don't, nope, I don't see anything else out there. So what do we want to do with this next minute or so? Let's go to my main screen out here. Let's take a look at some of the, since it's a NASDAQ, the Microsoft is kind of interesting chart. Look what it does here. On gaps up this morning. And when gaps down this morning, on its 30-minute basis, that gap down generated Rhodes momentum indicator bottom. Now price is trading above its oscillator and change line at 510.73. If we close above this on a 30-minute basis, that's another 11 minutes from now. That says we ought to make a move towards 514.09 to 514.92. That's where a counter trend rally on a 30-minute basis would come to an end. Therefore, if you see Microsoft trading above 514.92 on a 30-minute basis, more than a counter trend move, and price would then suggest at least moving up towards 517.41. That's the top of its 30-minute profile. The daily time frame, Microsoft has found support at its breakout level at 508.88. Now it shows a hammer candle right now. No idea whether it will be a hammer candle at the day's end. The weekly time frame chart for Microsoft is nothing more than a sideways consolidation for the last month and a half out there. So Microsoft is signaling that it may have bottomed. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome, folks. We're taking a look at ticker symbol CRML, Carmel, which is a critical metals corp out here. It's going to go ahead, Mr. Bill, and complete a daily TD9 count topping pattern today. That says today's high is going to be real key. At this moment in time, the high of the day is at 30.48. I don't know if that's the high of the day. If we close above that tomorrow or any time after that, it'll negate that signal and tell you about a strong upward momentum move. The weekly time frame is going to complete a TD9 count topping pattern on Friday out there. So both of these are signaling we should move lower. Look at that monthly candle out there, going from 6 to 28 buckaroonies out there. So quite a move. So the question is, do we pull back? What are the targets? The targets are going to be 1668, which is the top of the daily profile. The price closes below that, wherever its oscillator and change line would be printing. It'll be printing below 1546, where it's printing right now. So you've got topping patterns out here, but that monthly bar is so strong. Just watch to see if this thing starts to pull back. I would look at an intraday chart, but I can tell just by looking at it, we're not going to see any signals on that at this moment in time. So, Mr. Bill, hope that helps you out. Why don't we take a look at it tomorrow? You've got to remind me, though. I don't know that I would remember. Let's take a look at LAC, the Los Angeles Chargers. This for Duncan in the Duncan Stevens side, the Tigers Den. This is taking on the swing point high on the daily time frame October 6th. 89 million shares traded that day. In about 2.5 hours of trading, we're at 75 million shares. You're pushing that swing point with volume. We've got some prices, screen oscillator change line. We're trading about profile resistance. It looks to me like it wants to go ahead and take out that high and move higher. The weekly time frame chart, no topping pattern out here. And on the monthly time frame, over time, it looks like LAC wants to go target 1445. 1445 would be its TD9 count breakdown resistance level for the monthly time frame. Folks, what a great show. What we learned out here today, and that's thanks to Eddie, is that over the last 25 years out there, that the Santa Claus rally has begun on October 10th, which was a Friday. Well, this last Friday was October 9th. This last Friday was October 10th. I think that low is a really critical low. Have a terrific Tuesday, folks. We'll see you tomorrow.